This is Lozenge 5 from the Lightworks series, an all acrylic piece with LED lighting and custom electronics inside. And the piece really is about color and form. It's this constant conversation between sort of what is cut out and what is projected light, these different color zones, and sort of how these all interact. There's something about pacing as well, in terms of the pace of change, that these colors are always in a state of shift. The line in the front that's floating is moving the slowest, the body moves a little bit faster, and the wall color moves the fastest. And there's these moments in its probably 40-minute program or so where all the colors converge, like we're seeing right now. And one of my favorite moments actually is when the colors begin to peel off of that singular color, and you get a tint that's a little bit more green or one that's a little bit more orange, and it begins to then really pull into its high contrast moments. But there's these areas for the mixing of colors where two colors are working together. Other moments when the wall color is very warm and the cool colors are forward, and the piece appears to almost be breathing, almost like it's moving in and out from the wall. So here's the moment when it's beginning to peel off of its singular blue color. You're beginning to see the violets, the pinks beginning to come through. And this loop that it's working on it's about a 40-minute program that is always in this kind of state of shift, these different moments when it goes to singular color or all three. This is Taurus 7 from the Lightworks series, and all of these works really came out of my artist in residency that occurred at the Palm Springs Art Museum in 2010 when I built Aperture, which was the first piece I had ever built out of acrylic and LED lighting. And so the first piece where I ever really took on color. That was a large piece, 24 feet long, 7 feet high. And so these works now are about those intimate experiences with color and form and geometry. Taurus 7 is really the first piece where there was this kind of undercut that allowed this mixing space for color, where you're getting this kind of green coloration on the body, this orange and red on the side. It almost appears as though when you look inside that it's almost like it's sitting on a structural bed of light. It's about 21 feet long, about 8.5 feet high, and it's called Bend Parallel because it's taking two planes and bending them at 120 degrees. The result is this third plane that you see reflected that is zero thickness, it's materialless, and it's the merging of these two colors. So formerly we saw this as red and as green, and that meant that the third plane was yellow, because in light, that's how those two colors mix. And you step up close enough, there's a moment when your brain begins to question, which side are you on? And do you belong to that pink world? Because you see it reflected, you see this studio reflected, you know it, you see it, but your brain very quickly tries to adapt to the kind of confrontation and immersive experience of that color. This is Taurus 9, the most recent addition to the Lightworks series, and by far the most complex and one of the largest to date. Complex because of both its form, all of the different undulations, but then combined with the number of color zones, and that there are 5 different color zones. From this center zone to this body to the blending of colors to then the colors on the wall. Torus 9 has an infinite program. What you're seeing right now may never ever be replicated precisely again. This is the vertical version of Lozenge 5. Has more of this kind of centeredness to it, like a relationship to the spine of somebody standing. So it's just a kind of a different orientation as opposed to the horizontal that's more about your periphery, of this alignment of the human with that centeredness of the piece itself.